Hey, and welcome back. Welcome back to the musings of an old maverick. And are you one of those millions who spend all their time comparing themselves with everyone around them? Are you one of those who are constantly getting totally mentally stressed, just waking up every morning and spending all those wonderful hours thinking of how ridiculously nonsensical you are compared to all the sensible people around you? Are you one of those who are in total comparison sickness, as I call it? If that's so, let's talk about the ill effects of constantly comparing yourself to other people and what you can actually do to knock off this ridiculous tendency. Comparison is the thief of joy. And this is a statement that was made by Theodore Roosevelt. And let me tell you, I believe this in toto. I have met many people in my entire existence. People who have spent all their time comparing with other people and living sad, stressful lives. There are several ill effects of comparison. I'm sure if you're one of those who keep comparing yourself with your friends, your neighbors, your family, or anyone who seems to impress you, you'll probably also understand these very ill effects. But let's talk about it in any case. One, what are the negatives of comparison? Number one, it's not fair. It is so unfair to you because you are constantly comparing your weaknesses with other people's so-called strengths. How do you know? How do you know that the strengths that already exist in you are far more profound, are far more beautiful than those so-called strengths that you see in other people? That's one of the major effects comparison has. Number two, you are too unique to compare yourself with anyone. You know, there are 8 billion people on planet Earth, and each person is so beautifully unique, just like you are. So if you're so unique, why do you have to compare yourself? Number three, comparison leads to resentment. You start resenting yourself as a human being. You start resenting the fact that you don't seem to have that chutzpah that everybody else has. And then you start resenting other people for what they have, not realizing that most of the time you have maybe far more than what they possess. Number four, comparison drives us out of joy. There's no joy because we have such low self-esteem as we keep comparing, and this self-esteem keeps on increasing day by day, week by week, month by month, as we keep comparing ourselves to everyone else. Life isn't worth living that way. Number five, you know what? Enough is never enough. That's what happens when you compare. You're constantly believing that what you have is just never enough because everybody else around you seems to have everything that you imagine you don't have. Number six, you actually turn into a clone of someone else. Don't you? Wouldn't you? If you keep comparing yourself with everyone else and you start imbibing into you what you think others have that you don't have, you're eventually turning yourself into a clone of somebody else. And you're destroying that wonderful uniqueness, that wonderful greatness that exists inside you. Finally, 7, you can miss out on what you can bring to the world. You know, you can you will always keep missing out what you can actually bring to the world as an amazing, enlightened human being. Now, how the hell do we cure ourselves out of this constant comparisons or comparing ourselves all the time to others? Well, there are some few steps I have, which counts up to 6 actually, and we can talk about it right now. Number 1, be aware of the ill effects of comparison. Be aware of it. Understand what it's doing to you. It is not giving your confidence a flip. It is not making you feel, whoa, I've arrived like I arrive every day when the sun rises. No. Every time the sun rises, you are constantly wondering how to become a better version of somebody else. Hey, that's not worth living. That's the life not worth living. Number 2, practice gratitude. This is something that I keep talking about to all my mentees. You know what I do? I got to share this with you. Every morning, for just 10 minutes, just post my meditation. I get up at 3 o'clock in the morning and meditate till 5. So just post my meditation. I look at who I was in the past. I look at the things that I possess today. I experience all that it took me to get to where I am today. And I bow my head down to God and the universe and I say, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Because when you start respecting who you are and what you have done to get to where you are today, and you still have a very long journey ahead of you, this is not the beginning or the end of it all. You will feel grateful to God and the universe to have given you the strength to get to where you are. Number 3, don't compare. Don't compare. You know what I do? I, in fact, inspire myself. I look at all those wonderful people who have done so much of good in this world, who have really worked towards changing the way the world exists, and I get inspired. I get so inspired because I say, if they could do this, why can't I? So I search constantly for the actual purpose of my life, and I tell myself, I am going to become an authority in this, and I am going to change the way the world exists. A beautiful world, a wonderful world, just not for us, but our future generations. Number 4, limit your time on social media. Believe me, that's absolute. You watch Facebook, you watch LinkedIn, you watch Twitter, you watch every social media you can talk about. And what are you watching? You're watching people who seems to be having amazing lives, the life that you would love to live, the kind of shoes that you would love to step into. My friend, the fact is that their lives are not different from yours. You also have a lot of beautiful things to talk about, but you're not even looking at that for the simple reason that you want to just compare your sad, so-called sad, nonsense life to a life that you imagine is just amazing. All your friends on Facebook having a great time. Their lives are just as much as practical as yours is. So don't get carried away social media. In fact, I would advise, try and cut it down. It's really not worth spending so much time on it. 5, focus on your strengths, not on those of others. So this is something I keep telling everyone. Keep your focus on your strengths. Because, like I said, you're unique. You're amazing. You have strengths which nobody else may actually have. And you'll only realize it when you focus on it. So focus on your strengths. Develop them. Make them amazing. And make them contributory so that it can contribute to the betterment of this world. And finally, my last advice to you, my sixth advice to you, something I have done and practiced my entire life. I am always competing with the person I was yesterday. I compete with nobody else. I just compete with myself. So that I keep notching up. Every day the sun rises, I work towards becoming a better version of who I was yesterday. Not a better version of who I assume the so-called wonderful guys existing around me, or wonderful people existing around me. No! I'd like to become the better version of myself, the version that existed yesterday. And if you can actually take this into your entire existence, in every form, whether it's personal, professional, goal setting, visions, no matter whatever have you, if you can take this one advice seriously and make yourself a better version of who you were yesterday, you will connect with that beautiful uniqueness within you. That beautiful, beautiful person that exists within you. Those beautiful flowers, buds that are waiting to flower within you. This is Anand Nair, signing off for now. I hope you had a wonderful time listening to my vlog or watching my vlog, and I'd be so happy to hear what you think about it in the comment boxes below. Till we meet again, you take care. Love you guys. See you soon.